Welcome to an ancient ghost story. This story comes from Pliny the Younger's Letters, Book 7, Letter 27.
To Sura, I am extremely eager to know your opinion concerning ghosts, whether you believe they actually exist and have their own proper shapes and are supernatural, or are only the false impression of a terrified imagination. What makes me believe they exist is a story. Let me tell it to you.
Pliny tells the story that there was at Athens a house. It was large and spacious, but ill-reputed and polluted. In the dead of night, a noise like the clanking of chains and fetters was heard. Immediately after, a phantom appeared in the form of an old man, extremely scrawny and squalid. It preyed on the minds of the residents, even while awake. The house was finally deserted, being judged by everybody to be absolutely uninhabitable. Athenodorus, the philosopher, came to Athens at this time. A Stoic philosopher and teacher of the Emperor Augustus, he is famous for the phrase festina lente, more haste, less speed. This house seems to me to be very cheap. What's the catch? When he heard the story of the house, he hired it. That night he made a plan. He ordered a couch to be prepared for him, with pen and tablet, and for his people to retire. So that his mind was not open to imaginary noises and apparitions, he applied himself to writing. The first part of the night passed in silence. Then began the clanking of chains and fetters. The noise increased until it seemed at the door, and then, at last, in the chamber. The ghost beckoned. Athenodorus made a sign with his hand that it should wait a little, and went back to his writing. The ghost rattled its chains over his head as he wrote. So he took up his lamp and followed, as the ghost slowly stalked along, hindered by its chains, until suddenly it vanished. Athenodorus, being thus deserted, marked the spot of the disappearance with leaves. The next day he told the magistrates to dig on that spot. The bones were collected and were buried at the public expense. The ghost was thus duly laid to rest. The house was haunted no more.
Sura, please say you'll apply your knowledge to this question. I will let you argue both sides of the case, but be sure to take up one side more than the other, so that I'm not stuck with suspense and uncertainty, when the reason I asked your advice was so you should put an end to my doubts. Voila!
The end.